All right, welcome to The Explainer. We're going to cut right through all the noise and give you the real signal on what actually mattered this week in the world of AI. And that right there is the big question we're diving into today. We've all seen the flashy benchmarks, we've definitely heard all the hype, but now the game is changing in a big way. Because look, what's really happening is a massive pivot. We're moving away from just theoretical horsepower to practical, monetizable applications. The focus isn't just on what AI can do anymore, but what it's actually doing for your business, for your country, and yeah, for your bank account. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll kick things off with the new arms race, then see how AI is making a play for your wallet. After that, we'll check in on the global power plays, look at some smarter creative tools, unpack the EU's big privacy gamble, and we'll wrap up with what investors really should be keeping an eye on. Okay, first up, the AI arms race. For months, it's all been about who has the biggest, baddest model. But now, the metrics are shifting to something way more important: efficiency and actual real-world skill. Let's talk about Anthropic. They just dropped Claude Opus 4.5, and get this, they made a staggering claim. It beat every single human applicant on their own internal engineering test. And this isn't some abstract benchmark, okay? This is the same 2-hour grilling they give to people they're thinking of hiring. And the AI, it absolutely crushed it. But here's the kicker, the part that really matters to anyone watching the money. In a separate puzzle-solving challenge, Opus 4.5 got the job done for just $95. Its supposedly cheaper sibling, Sonnet, took longer and cost $422. So why the difference? Because Opus thinks before it acts. It writes actual code to solve problems instead of just taking wild guesses. This tells you we're now measuring AI not on raw intelligence, but on cost-effective intelligence. That's the new battleground. And this table here just lays it all out perfectly. In a head-to-head test, Opus 4.5 wasn't just the fastest, beating Sonnet and leaving Gemini completely in the dust. But what's really interesting is that detail and reasoning column. Opus went incredibly deep, providing mathematical proofs, full probability breakdowns. It's delivering both lightning speed and genuinely superior, in-depth thinking. That's the winning combo right there. So, this focus on practical application leads us straight to our next section: how AI is making a beeline for your wallet. And trust me, the timing here is no accident. With holiday shopping about to go into overdrive, the AI giants are making a direct play for a piece of that action. OpenAI just turned ChatGPT into your own personal shopping assistant, and the workflow is, well, dangerously simple. You just ask for what you want. Say, find me the best TV for a really bright room. The AI then scours the web, it reads the reviews, it even asks you clarifying questions, and then it presents you with personalized options. And because of their instant checkout feature, you can buy it right there in the chat. It's a completely seamless path from a simple question to a finished purchase. Now, here's the really smart part of their strategy, if you ask me. OpenAI is explicitly training this thing to prioritize genuine user reviews from places like Reddit over all the slick marketing copy. They're trying to build trust. They want to become your go-to, unbiased advisor. And hey, if they can pull that off, they'll own a massive chunk of that projected 520% jump in AI shopping this season. And listen, this isn't just an isolated move, it's a trend. Perplexity just launched a new feature where you can upload a photo, create a digital version of yourself, and virtually try on clothes. You find a jacket you like, you tap a button, and boom, you see yourself wearing it. It's just another example of how AI is being woven directly into the fabric of e-commerce, making everything more personal and way more interactive. This brings us to the global stage, because the AI race, well, it isn't just happening in Silicon Valley. We're seeing major power plays from countries that are determined to build their own capabilities and cut their reliance on foreign tech. Take India, for example. A startup based in Hyderabad has built the world's first AI-powered anti-drone patrol vehicle. It's called the Indrajal Ranger, and it uses its AI brain to spot drones from 10 kilometers away, figure out the best way to take them down, and then execute the plan. All on its own, all within seconds. It can patrol borders, hunt down smuggler drones, and protect military convoys. But the most important point here, the thing you really need to understand is this. This is an imported technology. It's not from the US or Israel or China. This is homegrown Indian technology. And for a country like India, that is a massive statement of strategic autonomy and a real flexing of its tech muscles. Meanwhile, you've got China. And they are not taking their foot off the gas for 1 second. I mean, just this week, Alibaba open-sourced a world-class image model, Z-Image, that's going toe-to-toe with Google's best. And at the same time, Tencent released a tiny little model for reading text that, despite its size, is outperforming models hundreds of times larger. They are not slowing down, not one bit. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about creative tools, because the story here is all about strategic trade-offs. Companies are making very specific bets on what they think users value most. Is it lightning speed or is it perfect quality? So Elon Musk's Grok just added text to video, and its biggest selling point is pure speed. As you can see from the chart, it can pump out a clip in under 15 seconds, while competitors like Sora can take a couple of minutes. Now, is the quality at Sora's level yet? No. But here's the thing. Grok is built right into the X app. For social media is good enough in 15 seconds, better than perfect in 3 minutes? XAI is betting a whole lot of money that it is. And then, on the complete other end of the spectrum, you have what I think is a truly brilliant business move from LTX Studio. See, while everyone else was busy trying to generate entire videos from scratch, they spotted a critical gap in the market. Their retake tool lets filmmakers fix one small mistake in a shot, maybe change a line of dialogue, tweak an emotion, adjust a camera angle, without having to reshoot the entire expensive scene. They solved a real, costly problem for a very specific industry. That's just textbook smart business. Now for a topic that has huge implications for everyone: data privacy. The European Union, long considered the world's privacy watchdog, is thinking about a major policy shift. And frankly, it's a high-stakes gamble with some really big consequences. To really understand what's happening, just look at this timeline. In 2018, the EU set the global gold standard for data protection with GDPR. But a new proposal, the Digital Omnibus, which is set to be decided in late 2026, is suggesting they loosen some of those very strict rules. The thinking in Brussels is clearly changing. So why the change of heart? Well, the EU is presenting a very clear trade-off. They argue that Europeans waste 575 million hours a year just clicking on annoying cookie banners, and that these changes could save businesses 5 billion euros. They're basically arguing that the current rules create too much friction for too little benefit. But, and this is a very big but, here's the other side of that coin. Prominent privacy advocate Max Schrems is calling this the biggest attack on digital rights in years. The fear is that this proposal could allow companies to use your data to train AI without your explicit consent and make it easier for them to just ignore your requests to see what data they even have on you. It's a classic debate: business efficiency versus individual rights. All right, let's wrap this up with our investors' watch list. And remember, we're not just looking at cool new tools here, we're trying to spot the technologies that signal a much larger market trend. Look at tools like Radian, which lets you build a whole web app just by describing it in chat, or Cat Does, which can generate a full mobile app from just an idea. Then you have something like Interview Flow AI, which automates the entire first round of the hiring process. The pattern here is crystal clear. AI is moving beyond being just a simple feature inside an application. It's becoming the platform that builds the entire application and automates complex business processes from start to finish. That is the massive trend you need to be watching. So, as we've seen today, AI is now competing for engineering jobs, it's making a serious play for your wallet, and it's becoming a tool of national strategy. It's not just code in a lab anymore. It is an active player in our economy and in our world. Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As AI gets a job, a wallet, and a passport, who is really in control? That's what to think about until next time.